organic, unpredictable, unknown, lovely, beautiful, a sense of fulfillment. This is part of the pleasures of life and not the chores of life.
Coming up tonight on Daily Iowan TV, Round 2. Another state is predicting the future.
And creepy crawlers find out what bug is taking over Iowa City. That's next.
Both head basketball coaches talked to the media today.
Also, Iowa softball is starting their season here shortly. Find out more about both these later on in sports.
All that and more coming up.
Daily Iowan TV starts now.
Good evening, and thanks for joining us. I'm Jeremy Meyer.
And I'm Alana Neal.
New Hampshire voters had a big decision to make Tuesday. The first national primary kicked off for the 2016 presidential candidates, but the primaries work a little differently than the Iowa caucus from last week. Instead, a small group meeting locally to choose delegates from nominating conventions, voters fill out their own private ballots to choose their favorite candidates. Last week, Ted Cruz and Hillary Clinton came out with a win in Iowa, but Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders have their eyes set on a W Tuesday.
The Hillary Clinton campaign is facing a rising number of anti-Clinton supporters. That's due to a past accusation against Clinton's husband, Bill Clinton. Kathleen Wiley, a former White House volunteer during Bill Clinton's presidential term, accused the president of groping her in a hallway of the White House back in 1993. Wiley is now creating an anti-Clinton movement, gaining some Republican supporters in the hopes of potentially influencing the female vote. The anti-Clinton group will become active only if Hillary Clinton wins the 2016 Democratic nomination.
President Barack Obama sent Congress his 8th and final budget proposal earlier Tuesday. The Obama administration plans to spend $4.1 trillion on new initiatives. They include a new war on cancer and action to halt global warming. This proposal is getting some heat from the Republican Party and may face a tough road in approval in the GOP-controlled Congress. Overall, President Obama's budget would increase taxes by $2.6 trillion in the next 10 years.
And yesterday, the University of Iowa police reported 2 separate sexual misconducts. According to the report, one assault happened this past Saturday in a dorm on the east side, the other on Sunday night in a dorm on the west side. The survivors chose not to report to the police. These are the 9th and 10th reported acts of the sexual misconduct on campus within the 2015-2016 school year.
Iowa City is getting a little taste of Fat Tuesday in the form of a New Orleans-style restaurant, and it's all in honor of the day before Lent, also known as Mardi Gras. Zhao Li has the story.
A very popular New Orleans-style restaurant, Augusta, moved to Iowa City a couple days ago.
I think a lot of our fans are here, and we wanted to be closer and more available to them. We're going to have a big Mardi Gras party tomorrow, February 9th, and we're opening for business February 11th at 11 a.m.
The chef says they will have a lot of specials on.
We're going to be going ahead with some special po' boys, a roast beef po' boy and a shrimp po' boy and a crab po' boy.
Great food, it's all made from scratch, great service, and just a fun environment.
We have the best tenderloin in Iowa, so I think people are going to want to come and give it a try, plus also really good burgers and steaks and everything. We have low to high to middle, so we're trying to accommodate everybody.
It'll be a good add-on to downtown.
The new restaurant will be on 630 Iowa Avenue in Iowa City. Zhao Li, Daily Iowan TV.
Scientists have discovered a new species of bacteria that can cause Lyme disease. It's called Borrelia mayoni. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota say it's closely related to Lyme disease, but it causes different symptoms and only seems to be found in Minnesota and Wisconsin. They discovered the species from 9,000 samples drawn from residents of the 2 states and North Dakota who thought they had Lyme disease. The bacteria is carried and transferred by ticks.
The University of Iowa College of Education is welcoming a new Dean of Students, Daniel L. Clay, migrating from the University of Missouri. Clay previously held the dean position and is no stranger to the UI and Iowa City community. He was a tenure-track faculty member at the university from 1997 through 2006, Also, in the College of Education, he's projected to fill his role as dean starting on July 1st, 2016.
In Germany, two trains in the southeast collided earlier Tuesday morning after unknowingly traveling on the same track. The crash killed 10 people, including the conductors of both trains. The accident left close to 100 injured and one missing person. German transportation officials and investigators will continue to examine the human, technical, and infrastructure aspects of the accident. Well, it's definitely very, very chilly, and I almost got knocked over by the wind on my way to class.
Had to use a scarf today. Some extra layers required on campus here on this Tuesday. For more on the weather, let's toss it over to Becca Scadden, standing by in the weather studio.
As the temperatures continue to drop, getting out of bed for those early morning classes is getting more difficult. But hang in there, Hawks. It's about to get a whole lot colder before we see any warm weather. Wednesday, we're looking at temperatures around 8 degrees with partly cloudy skies. As we move into the afternoon, we warm up slightly into the teens with temperatures near 16 degrees. But the temps cool back down and we see temperatures around 12 degrees tomorrow night. Taking a look at the rest of our week, we see falling temperatures over the next few days. Thursday, we have a high of 23 degrees and a low of 15 with a small chance of some flurries throughout the day. Friday, we're looking at a high of 26 degrees and a low of 0 with partly cloudy skies. Saturday, we get some sun, but the temperatures hit their low for the week with a high of only 15. As we move into Sunday, we have a high of 22 degrees and an 80% chance of snow. Right now, we're expecting around 3 to 5 inches. Looking into the beginning of next week, it looks like we may see some warmer temperatures Monday. We're looking at a high of 31 degrees and partly cloudy skies. And while here in Iowa City, we've only seen some flurries over the past couple of days, Winter Storm Mars has been hitting Massachusetts pretty hard. This morning, blizzard's conditions were officially verified in a few counties, and winds were reported at up to 65 miles per hour. That's all I have for you here in the weather studio. Back to you guys at the desk.
After the international superstar Beyonce performed at the Super Bowl on Sunday, she received both backlash and praise. Fans roared on social media and in the crowd as she made her way onto the Levi Stadium football field. And this was just hours after releasing the video of her new song called Formation. Now, both the video and halftime show stirred up memories of the 1960s Black Panther movement and other anti-police ideas. Beyonce supporters responded positively, but some conservative social media presence have shared their opposing views.
And the Iowa Hawkeyes men's basketball team is getting first place votes in national polls. The USA Today coaches poll voted the Hawks 5th in the country with 3 first place votes. And that's up 2 spots after last week's wins against Penn State and Northwestern. Iowa is ranked 4th while receiving 11 first place votes in this week's Associated Press poll. This is pretty big news for the Hawkeyes, as this is believed to be the first time Iowa has received such votes since the late 1980s. And it might still be cold outside, but the spring sports are in full effect.
That's right. Softball had their media day today. For more on that, let's toss it over to the guys in the sports studio where Katie Sextro and Laura Belanda are standing by.
A jam-packed Tuesday in Iowa athletics. We start with Iowa basketball.
Iowa men's basketball has nearly been perfect in the Big Ten, but when they head to Indiana on Thursday, the most important aspect in Iowa's future is staying consistent.
Can we always have a really positive assist-turnover ratio? You know, can we consistently share the ball so that you look at our number of field goals and our number of assists, and there's a lot of assists to the number of field goals we have.
Now, as for the Iowa women's team, they've been struggling this season, and things don't get any easier for them when they welcome number 7 Ohio State to Carver on Thursday.
It's obviously an incredible basketball team coming in, probably one of the highest scoring teams in the country.
Both of these teams with huge games in their future.
Mm-hmm. And as for the Iowa men's tennis team, they're 4-1 on their season with a whole lot of tennis left to play. Now, Taylor Brooks dug deep into the core of this tennis team and found out how ambitious they really are with just one senior on their roster.
In the stages of a program that's rebuilding, the Iowa men's tennis team has found one player who has gone through it all, Dominic Patrick. The lone senior has not only found himself as captain, but also as big brother, as he has one last chance to not only make an impact on this program, but with the people within it.
We came and the program, it needed help, and we built a work ethic that really, stood out to the younger guys.
Dom had been through the bad times, I guess, of Iowa tennis, and they've been through our rise, up, and having some success.
Success that Patrick knew the young guys would buy into.
They bought into it, and now it's becoming a program that's growing in the rankings, and we're becoming more nationally known.
And it's been the leadership of the guy who stuck it out for 4 years.
Dom's made such a big difference. The leadership here, it's been absolutely great.
It's been fun just kind of being under the wing of so many guys and just being just the only freshman when I was here. And I think it's kind of helped my leadership being the only senior now, just having so many role models that were ahead of me.
Even though Patrick is the only one who gets to wear that C during matches, this team prides themselves as one unit.
This team is so close that it's just, we all feed off each other. We look to him for leadership in hard times, but you know, when we're so close as a unit, hard times don't come that often.
This togetherness bringing life back into this program, one match at a time.
We want to try to make the NCAA tournament.
We've never made the NCAA tournament here at Iowa.
Our goals are to get 7 ranked wins, and we think that'll put us in the NCAA tournament. And we're at 2 already, 3 matches into the season.
The NCAA tournament hopefuls have plenty of opportunity within the next few months to make that appearance happen. And as for Patrick, he has a few more times to bounce the ball and put up a serve. Reporting inside the tennis complex, Taylor Brooks, Daily Iowan TV Sports.
The Hawks hit the road these next 2 weekends against Middle Tennessee and Wichita State. And then they'll head back to their home court on February 26th.
Now it's already time to begin talking about Iowa softball. The team will be heading out to start their 2016 campaign next weekend. Zach Mackey was at the team's media and has more. Zach?
After a season that was disappointing for the Iowa softball team, they are back and getting set to start their 2016 campaign in just 2 short weeks.
They practice against each other and one-up each other, the pitching staff and the hitters and the defense, but face an opponent, the things change. That's their point, is to change our game. So I'm anxious to get on the field in a week and see what we have to offer. We got a lot more depth. We've got a lot of energy going right now, so I'm excited to see how we put it into play.
The team has been practicing inside for their first 2 weeks, but head coach Martha Looper sees much improvement from last year's squad.
2 or 3 months ahead of where we were last year. And this last week has really been a pivotal point with the attitude, the energy, the effort, and seeing that going into our weekend and another week. I'm really excited to see how we, again, face the opponent and see how we react and respond and adjust and compensate, which our whole game is about.
There was some excitement for the Hawkeyes last season in the Big Ten tournament. After the team pushed right on through to the semifinals, they hope to replicate that throughout this season.
And she tried to forget about it, but we wanted to feed off of that energy and that fact of we did it, no one expected us to, and that team -1 is back.
One huge improvement in the softball program this turnaround is the pitching depth.
Right now we've got a staff that I get to learn to manage and play the game within the game, and I'm excited about that. We haven't had that opportunity the last few years, so that depth will play a key role in our success this year.
We gained some really good incoming freshmen and transfer players that are going to have a huge impact on our team this year.
For Daily Iowan TV Sports, I'm Zach Mackey.
Iowa will travel to Corpus Christi to take on Louisville, Sam Houston State, and Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
That's all the time for sports tonight. Jeremy and Alana, back to you.
An invasive species has officially arrived in Iowa City and on campus. It's called an emerald ash borer, an insect that kills ash trees. The Iowa Department of Agriculture announced their presence Monday after they found a tree on the UI campus that seemed to be under attack. The insects are native to Asia and attack and kill millions of trees. The 560 ash trees on the UI campus could be in danger because once a tree is infected by the ash borer, they typically die within 5 years.
Imagine there's a lock of hair on the market for $10,000. Then imagine John Lennon's hair sitting on the mantle in your house. The Beatle, an early rock and roll icon, may be gone, but his legendary music is joined by another legacy, a 4-inch bundle of hair from the late 1960s. And here it is, a lock that comes from a German hairstylist who is said to have cut Lennon's hair before a role in the movie How I Won the War. The lock of hair will go up for sale in a Dallas, Texas auction later this month.
That's all we have for you tonight on Daily Iowan TV.
Be sure to check out our website, dailyiowan.com, for all the latest news. For Daily Iowan TV, I'm Jeremy Meyer.
And I'm Alana Neal. Have a great night.